Trust me, I want to get hype about Caspers Yakonis so bad. Believe me, I do, because he absolutely balled out today, and we will get into that. But it would be a little weird if I started this video in a celebratory fashion, considering the Miami Heat just lost. And not only did they just lose, they blew a fourth quarter double-digit lead. Stop me if you've heard that one before. I mean, Miami Heat pro team, Heat Summer League team, blowing fourth quarter double-digit leads. That's what they do. The Summer League squad was in mid-season form tonight. They really were in the first Summer League game. So shout out to them. These guys will fit great on the Miami Heat pro squad because not only did they blow a fourth quarter double-digit lead, but they gave up 20 offensive rebounds. I'm going to check that again. Nope. Still says 20. How do you give up 20 offensive rebounds? That's something that the pro team would do too. I don't know. I guess that's just Heat basketball nowadays. I mean, you got Kel'el Ware out there looking like he don't give a damn no more. I gave him a pass in California Classic. All right, go in here, one game where just one game and dominate. That's all we're asking for. Dominate the first game, sit the rest of Vegas, let Dane Danger and Omar Ballo and Vlad Golden play. But no, Kel'el Ware can't do nothing. Oh, man. I'm just disappointed because I was having so much fun this game. And then just for it to end on a sour note, it sucks, man. It really sucks. But I got a bunch of notes here today, so we're going to go ahead and get into it. Well, I actually still have my note for how I was going to start this video. I was going to start this video initially when the Heat were up double digits by singing Viva Las Vegas because that's what Brendan Tobin put on Twitter. And I think it's very catchy. He's probably going to have a parody song to that very soon. Maybe I should beat him to it. Nah, I'll let Tobin get in the studio and do his work. But we will save Viva Las Vegas for another video. But we'll talk about the rest of the guys today as the Miami Heat did have their full starting lineup. Of course, you had Caspers Yakonis, Kira Lewis Jr., Pelle Larsson at the 3, Kashad Johnson at the 4, and Kel'el Ware at the 5, although you couldn't tell by watching Kel'el Ware. The Atlanta Hawks had a couple interesting players that we were watching out for. Of course, Asa Newell, guy that I was pretty interested in seeing the Heat picking up in the draft. He didn't really do too much today after starting the game with a 3 off rip. Only finished with 8 points for him. And then they also had another guy, Nikola Jurisic, which, if y'all remember, the Heat actually drafted him last year. But they traded him to the Hawks for cash, and then they took Pelle Larsson just a pick later. So I would say that it worked out for Miami, considering Larsson has played well again tonight, and Nikola Jurisic had 8 points and 8 fouls. So that's really all I got to say about the Hawks, though. Figured I'd get that out of the way early. Outside of Josh Christopher, man, they picked up our guy JC a couple of days ago, and then he didn't get to play today. I was scared. I thought we were going to get a Josh Christopher revenge game, but no, he never checked in for the Hawks. But anyways, before the game did started, I did see something that gave me a little bit of the goosies. I saw our guy, the ghost, Caspers Yakonis, talking to UD, and I love the fact that UD is continually involved with these young kids every single day because I truly think he's the best mentor that these guys could have. And whatever UD said to him must have worked because Caspers came into this game and balled the hell out. Now, not initially. The first play of the game, I actually did like. They went right to Kel'el Ware, and I'm thinking, okay, good. Get Ware going early. Let this be the game that he makes us all feel good about him. Had a very beautiful step back or drop step going baseline. Hit a tough, short little fadeaway jumper. And I'm just very impressed by his soft touch. We continue to say this. It's hard for a lot of these big men to do a short fadeaway from, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 feet from the hoop. A lot of them, they're so strong that you see them put too much on it, but he just was able to cash it. And I'm still impressed by his touch. I'll give Kel'el Ware that today. He had a few nice plays. We'll get into the stats later, but overall, he was a bit disappointing. But then actually it was the next possession for the Heat where Caspers had a turnover. So second possession of the game, KJ was trying to throw a lob to Ware. He turned it over. And I'm like, oh, damn. Here we go again. We're starting with the turnovers. I'm getting frustrated because yesterday I'm watching all these guys ball out, from Neek Clifford to Jace Richardson balling out to former Heat legend Jamari Bouye hitting a game-winning buzzer beater. And I'm like, damn, all these guys are having success and Caspers Yakonis can't hold on to the ball. Luckily, I kept those thoughts to myself because it was right after that Caspers went crazy. The boy finally got a bucket off a very tough spin. He was spinning into the middle of the paint, had a tough layup off the backboard. Looked like there was some contact for Asa Newell. Caspers continued being aggressive. Forced a layup the next possession, but I think there was probably some contact there too. So I like that he was trying to get to the free throw line. But then it was the next possession that Caspers did finally hit his first three Summer League off a beautiful pass from Kashad Johnson. And then he hit a tough fadeaway three off the catch a few possessions later. And then the very next possession, Caspers hit another three, a pull-up three in transition. And he was en fuego. And it was fun to watch. And I was so excited to see him finally get going. You knew how important it was for his confidence, for him to get going early, especially hit his first shot. Because if you're in the kind of slump that he's in and then you miss your first shot of the game, things could easily start to seep in, pretty quickly for a shooter. So I like the fact that he was able to get off to that hot start and continued being aggressive. It was actually, and he showed some versatility too, I should say, whether he was shooting threes off the catch or off the dribble. It was nice to see that he can do it both ways. It was a possession after that. Of course, I'm standing up now. I don't know if you can hear, my voice is gone a little bit because I was screaming during the Summer League game. What's gotten into me? I'm getting excited about Summer League. I was doing the same thing last year. I'm not even going to lie to you. But it's because this team is fun. They're a good team despite the loss today. But yeah, it was the next possession. I thought Caspers had another chance to jack up a heat check three, but he ended up finding Vlad Golden inside, who hit a pretty nice jump hook. Golden had a nice night tonight too, I'd say. Next possession, Caspers poked the ball away from his defender, dove for the loose ball, hit it head to Eric Stevenson, who cast a transition three, and then Caspers got fouled shooting three in the corner, so he really had his fingerprints all over that first quarter, although the Heat were down 4 after the first period there. Going into the second quarter, though, Kel'el Larson still was being aggressive. His ability to get to the free throw line is amazing. He uses these pump fakes to just get the defenders to pop tart, jump in the air, and that's very high IQ stuff. It's one thing just to be aggressive, driving into the paint. Okay, guys are going to hit you. But to be able to play the mind games with them, to pump fake, to know when the defender is going to jump, and then have the wherewithal to jump into them, that's some impressive stuff by Kel'el Larson, and we saw a lot of that today. Eventually, we did get Kaspars to check back into the game. So I'm thinking, okay, good. Let's hope that first quarter wasn't a little fluke. Let's hope he can continue the hot shooting. And spoiler alert, it continued. He immediately hit a step back three. Then he had a great drive and kick to where he drove baseline, kicked it to Kira Lewis in the corner, who swung it to Javonte Cook for three, which, my God, was Javonte Cook cooking, for lack of a better term. And then Caspers has a wild drive where he does this like little Euro step, finger roll, jumped off the wrong foot. He jumped off the wrong foot on the right side of the rim, still got it to go. He was just looking super aggressive, and his confidence was literally tangible. It's almost like you could see his confidence what's the word? Like fusing out of the TV screen, or oozing. It was like oozing out of the TV screen. I don't know. It was a weird way to put it, but he was on fire. And then probably my favorite Caspers play today, he had that little boy Kobe Buffkin thinking that he could guard Caspers. Caspers said, crossed that boy. That boy needed a map. And then he swung it to Caspers, got the dribble penetration off the cross, kicked it out to Javonte Cook in the corner, who cashed like his third straight triple at this point. The whole bench was going crazy. That arena was lit. My voice was all over the place, which is why I'm losing it right now a little bit. And the Heat were able to actually tie the game up at halftime. Crazy thing about that, Caspers had 19 points, at half, 6 to 8 shooting from the field, but he was a plus 10. To be a plus 10 in a game that is tied, that really shows you what kind of positive impact he had on the game. I did like they said at halftime, the Heat didn't even go to the locker room. Halftime's only 8 minutes. So they said, why waste the time walking to the locker room? We're going to do game film right here. We're going to get some shots up. And you can tell it had a good effect for the Heat because they played excellent in that third quarter. Caspers immediately got a steal, got fouled in transition, so he was still getting going. Kel'el Larson continued being aggressive. The Hawks did turn it up a little bit. They had a nice full court press that Miami had some trouble dealing with for a couple of minutes. That's where Caspers had maybe like his one of his maybe 2 bad plays today, which is good, for him. He was overall very solid today. But he kind of let the defense speed him up, dribbled into 2 defenders, turned it over. So that's the type of stuff that I think is his next step as a player in this league, is learning how to play at his own pace all the time. Don't let the defense speed you up. And I think that he will get there. But he were able to overcome that Hawks press. Vlad Golden played really well in his minutes that quarter. Although the Hawks couldn't stop getting offensive rebounds, we mentioned earlier they had 20 of them. I can't even believe that's a real number, 20 offensive rebounds. That's an extra 20 possessions. The fact the Heat were even in this game is beyond me. Yeah, I don't know if a lot of those rebounds were Golden's fault or even Kel'el Ware's fault when he's in the game. Offensive rebounds is kind of something I'd have to do some more game film to see who wasn't boxing out, who was rotating. So I don't want to put any blame on any specific person, but it's definitely on the whole team because that can't happen. Like I don't know. That part is frustrating to me. But the Heat, they did close the quarter strong. They had like a possession, the final possession, 3 seconds left off the inbound. Pelle Larsson was able to get all the way into the paint and one layup. Missed the free throw, but a nice way to close the quarter at quarter as the Heat were up 8 points. And then going into the fourth quarter, the Heat really got things going. Went up double digits pretty easily. Pelle Larsson was immediately on the floor again, going to the free throw line. Refused to let the Hawks defender pick him off the ground. He said, no, you get out of here. I'm going to let my teammates help me up. He just continues, being that Heat culture guy. Javonte Cook had another beautiful cross, got into the lane, beautiful finger roll. Whole bench was going crazy. Vibes were at an all-time high. You could tell that these teammates really love each other. And then the Hawks went on a 14-0 run. They took a 2-point lead. Heat would tie it a couple times. They would exchange the lead a few times. But then the Hawks would hit a big three in the corner after Kashad Johnson helped out way too far. I don't know why you're helping that far off the corner, Kashad. That was a bad read by him. But then the following possession, Heat had a chance to tie. Caspers had a beautiful kick out to Pelle Larsson, who was wide ass open for the tie. Pelle Larsson missed it. And the Caspers, he did try being aggressive at the end. Missed a couple of threes, then hit one at the end that gave the Heat a miracle shot, but they really didn't have nothing to do with it. So it was disappointing, in that 14-0 run. I was really looking for Pelle or Kaspars to do something to get the Heat in easy baskets, and Pelle just really wasn't being as aggressive, and Caspers was making good reads. It's just his teammates weren't finishing. So I don't really got no smoke for Caspers this video, although the Heat did lose. We'll run through the box score real quick here. Statistically, obviously, Pelle had another good game. 16 points for him, though he shot 3 for 10. God, I didn't realize he was that bad. See, 9 of 11 from the free throw line. We talk a lot about his ability to get to the stripe, which is important, but he's got to fix the shooting because, 1 of 7 from 3. Like, that has to be the adjustment for him coming into this season, is he needs to be a better shooter than he was last year. He was 33%. That's not good enough for a 6'5" wing. I don't know if he'll play the 2 or the 3. You got to be better than that, because as much as I love Pelle Larsson and he's great at getting to the line, he's great at getting to the line now in Summer League. But it scares me that if he's against NBA level competition, he's not going to be able to blow past guys as easily. He's not going to be able to body them as much. And if you don't have a jumper, guys are going to play off you. That's going to make it all the much harder to get inside the paint, because now you really can't blow past guys because they're going to force you to shoot. So I'm just worried that if he comes into this league not improved shooter at all, might see some Jaime Jaquez kind of production next season, which is not good, because same issue with Jaime. Jaime is great at getting to the paint. He has great footwork. Can't get to the footwork if you can't shoot. Defense is going to play off you. So I really hope that's something that Pelle focuses on over these next couple of years, really. I'm not saying he has to be a Klay Thompson this year, but in the next year or two, I want to see him continue to work on that shot, because through Summer League, it really doesn't look like it's that improved so far. Small sample size, we'll see. But yeah, got to work on that. Kashad Johnson followed up his great game last game with 9 points today. He only shot 3 of 8, but he's always pretty good defensively outside of that one lapse to end the game. And then Kel'el Ware, 10 points, 6 rebounds, 4-9 from the field. He looks like he doesn't want to be there. I think it was Sean Rochester on 5 Reasons. He said Kel'el Ware's too cool for school. That's the vibes I'm getting. Of course, you heard the stuff about him when he was drafted, that there's some motor issues. I didn't really see a lot of that his rookie year. A lot of times people are saying that because he doesn't show a lot of emotion. There's a difference between trying hard and not showing a lot of emotion. I feel like he tried hard his rookie year at times. There were some times where he didn't look engaged, but for the most part, I didn't feel like it was a big issue. Now coming into Summer League, like I said, I let him skate the first 3 games. Okay, you're trying new things out there. That's fine. Yeah, he could probably dunk on someone every time he wants. He's the biggest guy out there, but that'd be kind of pointless. I know you can dunk on everybody. What else can you do? That being said, first game in Vegas, you should have just went out there and tried to dominate one game, and he didn't do it. And it's not just a statistical thing. Defensively, I feel like he did make a nice impact inside. He altered a lot of shots today, but he always was late to loose balls. He was late to offensive rebounds. He didn't always sprint back on offense. There's a lot of things like that I noticed, and I'm optimistic he'll have a good year, because he will be a role player for this team. But it's like when you're talking about you were unwilling to trade a role player for Kevin Durant, it's like, what are we doing here? I think maybe Heat fans and the Miami Heat are starting to overvalue what Ware brings. He's a very, very good starting center. I don't ever think he'll be an all-star caliber player, and a lot of that's because of his issue and effort. If he tried hard, he could probably be one of the more dominant bigs in this league just because of his size and what he does athletically. They had Spoelstra on the broadcast today. He mentioned how Ware put on weight. Looks a little bit bigger, but it's like, if you're not throwing your body around out there, if you're avoiding contact, what good is the weight? I don't know. It's just 6 rebounds from him. That's inexcusable. Same, I think he had like 3 last game. So it's inexcusable. Kira Lewis Jr. stuffed the stat sheet today. 4 points, 5 rebounds, 7 assists. Shot 1 of 6, but he's had a nice summer league so far. Definitely not, anything eye-popping that he'd make the roster. But then, yes, to round out the starting lineup, Caspers, the Ghost, Yakucionis, came into this game, took it over. We said, what do you have, 19 points in the first half. Finished with 24 for the game, so not an explosive second half, but I thought he made some nice reads. Guys missed some shots. Did finish with 4 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists. Shot 7 of 12 from the field, 5 of 9 from 3. More importantly, only 2 turnovers. So finally had more assists and more turnovers. This was his best game. Like, I didn't get too low when he was bad. I'm going to try not to get too high when he's playing great. Although I did a little bit earlier. Do it again next game. Then we'll start to talk. Because what he is, I think he'll be a facilitator in this league. He's not going to be a Duncan Robinson shooter. He was today, but I don't think that type of shooting is sustainable. But we'll see what happens. Then off the bench, a couple of guys of significance. We talked about Vlad Golden, 11 points for him, 5 of 5 from the field. Only 1 rebound, though. Yeah, you can't have 7 rebounds total between your 2 7-footers. I don't know. I like Vlad Golden, though. I do feel he plays with some effort out there, but he is what he is. He's a two-way player. And then you had Javonte Cook, 18.6 rebounds, 7 of 15 from the field. Very, very dynamic offensive weapon. I thought he was okay defensively as well. I'm wondering if the Heat take a closer look at him. He might be a guy that they monitor once they bring him over to their Sioux Falls Skyforce, assuming nobody else poaches him. But that's really all I got to say for this video. He had a couple other guys play, Marcus Williams and Stevenson. But yeah, no danger today. Unfortunately, hopefully he'll get some run next game, because if Kel'el Ware's not going to try, might as well put Dane Danger out there, who's always going balls to the walls. But I digress. I shouldn't be slandering Ware this video. I should be hyping up Caspers, because he came into his first summer league game and Vegas game, balled the hell out. Super excited for him, and very excited for the next game, which is now Sunday at 7:30 versus the Cavaliers. So make sure y'all like this video. Leave your comments down below. I'm very curious to hear what y'all think. And make sure to subscribe, because I'm on the grind to 9,000 subs. I appreciate all the support, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace out, everyone.
Look, pull up in your city, tryna get that dead face. Do it on my own, I don't need no dead weight. Had to kill him off, yeah, I need a head space. You know this homegrown bitch don't offend me.